Alright, welcome back again. This time around we've got a bit more from Craig with the wagon. He's doing some great work on the big girl. I love his videos. Bit of plenum repair this time, so let's check it out.
Okay, now I wasn't actually going to do this to start with, but the more I look at it, the more I think I will. So I think what I'm going to do, because it's just a bit bare in there, there's a few pits on the inside. I figured we've got it all apart now, I might as well cut a section of that plenum off, and then I'll treat inside there and then weld it back on. Not the most funnest job, but I'm going to nick it off and then rejoin it. So I think we'll probably cut it through here. Yeah, and that's where the old rubber seal used to sit on the bonnet. It's a little bit scabby along there. It's not bad, but I think I might use that line to cut it. And I might cut through here, and there's a couple of spot welds. We'll drill them out and then come around to the other side here. And I'll probably end up cutting it through here, go all the way along, just till about where the heater cowl sits, so I can get in there with a brush and a wire wheel. So I'll go up here and I'll cut it through there. But the other ones I've done, I've generally cut them on the inside on this lip. This one I'm going to try something different. I'm going to cut it along the top, about here somewhere, and then hopefully it won't warp too much when I'm going to spot that back in. That's the plan, and the seal off the windscreen rubber will actually cover that, and I'll get it nice and smooth. But I think it's going to be better. I might cut along the top. I'll have another look tomorrow. I may end up just taking off what I've coated there, and I may cut it on the inside of the lip here. Not too sure yet, but I've better look at that before I do. Cut him off, we'll have a look inside there and see what's going on. Coat that up and then we'll put that back on. Just another added job that I wasn't going to do, but I think I will now. Rightio, so I've got the plenum and that all marked out. Now I've got the spot welds drilled out. As you can see along here, I was originally going to cut it across here, but I figured that by the time I spend spotting that up and then, addressing the bit of shrinkage and that I'm going to get out of that, probably just as easy just to drill the spot welds out. Plus it gives me a really good point to mark out when to put them back on, because obviously I've got to allow for the gap for the blade. I want it to sit back to as close as I can to how it was. So I'm going to cut it up through here. Probably go this side of the line so I'm closer to the edge here. Try to just eliminate as much movement as I can out of the steel when you cut it or flex. So what I did along here is put a bit of tape along here just in case I sort of jump out, and it might help protect it a little bit. But I actually used a contour gauge, one of these things, pretty cheap, and I just used it set it on here like that for an edge, and then just trace it around. Pretty good, just gives me enough there to play with, but I'll cut it on this side of the line as well, so it just gives me a little bit more. Spot weld I use to drill them out, if you're wondering. It's one of these, it's 117mm alpha bit. They're good. You need the long ones when you get into here, because if you get the short ones, the head of the drill hits in there unless you've got an angle drill or something like that, but I like the 117mm ones. Rightio, so we'll cut him off, see how we go, and let's have a look underneath and see what's in there. Again, wasn't going to do it, just increased a heap of work for myself, but I could just see where it was pitting inside the plenum. I don't know how deep it is. It was full of gum leaves, this. I'm really surprised that the plenum's in this good a nick. So anyway, let's pull it off, have a look in there, we'll clean it up and move forward. It didn't take too long to get that off. Once they're spot welds are up, so we can have a bit of look in here now. And this here was what I was concerned about. What I was saying, I could see some deeper pits in that here. I just didn't want to go to the trouble that I've gone to fixing floors and you know, sort of the major sort of rust things that are in this car, to then leave something like that or this after I've put it back together again, and then you got leaks, and then you got to turn around and pull windscreens out and dashes out and strip the car again pretty much to sort of do this sort of work. So decided to do it now. Again, man, good plenum really for what amount of muck that was in it. And plenum tops here, you can see that, just surface rust, and still really good in here. The black painting that you see is when I shoved my hand up in there with a paintbrush and some rust sealer, trying to get as much as I can in there, but I couldn't reach all up in there, so that's why I decided to cut it off. So we'll grind all this stuff off, clean it up, treat it. Mwah. Right, yeah, it's all off. I've given it a good clean up in here. We'll need another one when I'm done, but this is good enough to start doing some repairs. So this is the bits that I was a bit worried about. I could see through the vents at the top, so they're a bit deep. So what I'm going to do is go through and just give them a little hit with the drill bit, clean them up, and then I'm going to hit them with a spotter weld. Anything worse than the other ones, a bit more concerned about are these ones. I may have to go snip a piece out of a car and put in there, but we'll just play it by ear, see how it goes. You can see when you don't give them a bit of a clean up, it gets that hole in the middle. So we'll grind that one back and we'll give it another hit. Oh yeah, we'll plug away and show you what it's like when it's done. Okay, we're cleaned up. Hit them with just a drill bit, just to clean the rust and that off the pits. You don't want to drill a hole right through them, but just enough, just give them a light hit, just so you got enough clean metal there that the welder then burn into it, and it'll burn the rust away and you get a nice little flat weld, like so. When you're doing them, I don't know, keep them straight like that. Don't hit them on an angle. So straight up and down, and just a short little burst, and yeah, you get a nice little job. But we'll just show you how thin some of these holes were. One of them went straight through as soon as I touched it with the drill, and the other ones, when you hit them with the weld, just burnt through. So pretty glad I decided to pull it off, because when that stuff gets wet, it just seeps through into the car. Not much point of putting new floors if you're going to have a leaking plenum. And these ones here a little bit as well. So you can see how many pits were actually in this, but only these ones were the worst ones that blew through, all the rest took. So now they're cooled down, I'll go through and patch them up. And then I'll give it a hit with a little sander and orbital, and we'll have a look after that. Well, there we are, it's all spotted up and been cleaned. Didn't have to section anything out. It plug welded up really nice. Again, good thing I pulled that off now, because it wasn't the best. Found a few other spots in that down here, and a couple over here which I've already spotted and cleaned up back. So what we'll do tomorrow is I'll hit it with the aqua clean again. That'll just give it another bit of a clean. Any sort of light of rust and that I still haven't been able to get off should come off with that, and then we'll paint it up. I'll get a better brush, because I've only been using just little cheap shitty ones that are, I don't know, like $15 or something for like 10, but the hairs and that of the brush fall out when you're painting, so when using it in spots and that you just not going to see, or I'm going to cover it up. But through here I'll go get a better brush, and we'll spend a bit more time, because I don't want to have any run marks or anything like that in here. These little spots here, if that paint's thick enough, it should actually take that up, but we'll have a look. If it's not, we'll sand it back, put a different type of primer on it. And I may use a bit of filler, but I don't think we'll need it. But we'll check her out tomorrow. Anyway, so we let her sit for the night, and we've come back to a few issues. Being craters, or fish eyes as they're mostly known as. See all these? Fair idea, I know what I did wrong. When I had this all soaking in the KBS rust seal, I actually used an airline to blow to help dry it, and I used the airline that doesn't have my water filter on it. So I've probably blasted some contaminants in that into this, which has then given me the problems that we've got now. That's all right, we'll just sand them out, and then we'll put another coating on top, and that'll fix it right up. We're going to put a black top chassis coater over this, only because the KBS rust seal, it's not great for UV. Awesome where there's no light really, won't fade, but anywhere we're going to get a bit of light, you're going to get fade. So anyway, here's these fish eyes, I've got plenty of them. We'll sand them out. And the other one I also managed to get, I lathered on a bit too thick here, and you get these little bubbles, and I believe they're called like champagning. Again, if you're getting these as well, it's too thick. But what I also have managed to do, while speaking to the good man Adrian at KBS Coatings, he's going to send me a link, and we will post that on a later video of this when we get the link. You put that code in, and Adrian's going to give you a discount. So how that's going to work is, you go to the KBS Coatings website, you go to your cart, you put your shopping in there, and you will get a discount of some sort. Now, I'm actually going to give their KBS sound deadener a go. I haven't got it yet, it's on order. I don't think it's unique to that, but I will double check out and confirm. It might only work if you're buying the KBS sound deadener, or it may work on other products, but stay tuned for that. That's pretty cool, meant to be great stuff. It's actually meant to be, it's been tested apparently, and it's actually come up better than the Dynamat, and it's cheaper. So I do go on about the KBS, not for that reason, that's only just happened now, but I like it because it's affordable for your general hobbyist, just the bloke plugging around in the shed, and it's great stuff. So get on, check it out. If you haven't used it, use it. Righto, we blocked him back. You can see all the fish eyes and whatever was in it. So what I'll do now is I'm going to give it a coat with a primer. Hopefully it works. It doesn't say that it won't. It doesn't say that it will either. So we're going to give it a go. I think I mentioned before, it's the Transtar 4603. It's 2-in-1 primer. It does say it's compatible with virtually every automotive paint. It doesn't say that it doesn't or does not work with polyurethanes. I checked with the paint shop, they can't see why it won't. So let's give it a go. If it works, works. If it doesn't, well, I guess I'll be doing it again. Like I said, I'm not a painter or anything like that, so I'll sort of learn as I go as well. Lesson learned here. Give it another wipe down, or just don't use the, make sure you've got a water filter on your air compressor. Probably should already knew that one. But anyway, let's do this. And then these little pits that are there, again, I'm just going to go out and try it. If it doesn't, I'll sand it and put a little bit of filler on them. But I think when I put the KBS black top on it, I think it's going to fill those holes, or the little pits, but we'll find out when that's dry. If it hasn't, then I guess I'll just have to use a little bit of filler to do it, but let's see what happens.
Alright, some more nice work, eh? The lad knows what he's doing. So thanks again, Craig, really appreciate it. I'm sure everyone watching appreciates it as well. You're doing some great work, mate, love it. So anyway, that's it for us again. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, share it around, as we do, and have a good one. Cheers.